1. The screen flickers on, and a stylized logo appearing for the play square appears for a couple seconds before fading away, and in its place, the logo for Saxo. But finally, that fades away, and the title screen for Saga Sylvonia comes up. The logo being imposed over a moving background of a library, shelves full of ancient tomes. Load Saga.
Sure, hit load Saga.
One of the books is pulled off the shelf, opening up to a page with the pixelated party, including a Lesha icon with guest over her head. On the file is prologue complete. Continue Saga.
Replay
Continue!
prologue.
Continue.
Replay prologue I hit.
You hit an imaginary button.
I use my Game Shark to hack the console.
Jeez!
There was
Yeah,
a cheese
start
button.
downloading hacks.
Yeah, could I load some mods into the game?
Load old save file. Load old save file.
Ooh.
I forgot to put the...
Oh,
And do the M exclamation play.
there we go.
The book is shelved, the screen zooming through the background to the bookkeeper, ever present at his desk, already talking. Oh, your story is quite wonderful, storyteller. Do look forward to hear more from it next week. But the rest of our guests have arrived. It's been a while, friends. The chosen heroes of this story just finished going through a mighty ordeal. The festival ruined, hundreds of citizens slain, the king perished, the city practically in ruins, and an artifact placed into the hands of the demons. He gently taps the book on the shelf before he pulls another book off. Now, we return to the story. A few days after the funeral for the king and all the people, following the coronation of the new queen. The heroes have been getting themselves ready to set off on their journey, dealing with unknown revelations, a city in ruin, and a new companion to travel with them. Finally, the story shall resume in chapter 1 of this saga. He opens up the book. The page on picture as the screen zooms in upon it. In the throne room, where Queen Sienna talking with Randall and Rosea. I guess exclamation point stop up just makes it leave the channel and says things to know. Oh, was it the throne room? My bad. Anyways, Quincy, I was talking with Randon Rosea, sitting at a table. I do wish I could convince you to stay longer, help out with the reconstruction efforts. But I know that the time that you've already put in has been more than you've wanted to really give.
She's talking to me, right?
You and Randall.
Okay. Oh, yes, we must get back to Ionians as soon as possible.
The more that the people know of the invasion, the better. Is there any way that you can contact Mysteria to let them know as well? The world needs to know that the demons have returned, and in force.
The queen just kind of shakes her head. Unfortunately, with how everything with how the city state is in, there's not much we can do. Our airships are ruined. We don't have the set technology for getting messages out places fast. We've already sent out one rider to try to get to the west coast, see if we can't give a village there to commission a ship to send out.
And what do you think the demon will do with the artifact?
I honestly don't know. I mean, Arcanum has always been used against the demons, if what I've read about in history is to go by.
Well, at least they kept their word and they stopped invading, so I think it was worth it.
Yeah.
The only reason that they would have stopped invading, since they clearly had the advantage, is to use the Seeker's Crystal to gather even more forces, or to destroy opposition to themselves.
Alternatively, they could have been doing it to tie up forces in rebuilding efforts, taking care of wounded and such.
Yeah.
True.
You're the commander of the army now, right? As the queen?
And pretty much, but everything is all tied up with reconstruction efforts. Trying to build homes for people to stay in. Everything is full up. Not to mention we're trying to get all the treasury related things figured out. Hence why we can't really provide much for your travels back to your ship and home.
Oh, we can take care of ourselves. But what's your assessment of your army if they had to fight head to head with their army? Do you think you would win?
Right now, no.
So they truly did have the advantage then.
I mean, we may have had a bit of advantage with having a defensive fortification behind us, but with how many were outside the castle when they launched their surprise attack, so many were.
Yeah, and it was a true surprise attack. Sorry to cut you off. Please go on.
Yeah, it's no problem. We're not on formality at the moment. I'm gonna hate having to deal with all this formality stuff.
Yeah. So, have you been building your forces, or has your father been building your forces ever since the 50 years ago peace that happened?
Well, I've gathered that we kept sizable standing army for like 2, maybe 3 decades.
Mm-hmm.
But soon we started pushing that money away from the army and more to expanding other areas, farming, trade, economy.
That may have been a mistake.
There's no such thing as a mistake. The demons, in this case, were sudden. There's no telling when they would have invaded. And there's also no telling on how to properly prepare for something that has changed over the course of 50 years. Whatever standing armies exist, some elements of these armies may be an advantage, unexpectedly. We just don't know.
Yes, true. And
and plus, even with having a standing army, there's no saying that they'd strike where the standing army would be. Like, from what I understand, most of Ionia's military is circled around the dome, keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, I was about to bring up the dome. It makes sense you would fall lax. Who would have thought they would have been able to invade anywhere at any time? What's the even point of the dome? This is why we must get to Ionius. Maybe we can rethink and reassess if it's worth guarding all our forces at the dome or not. If they can attack it freely, what's the point, Randall? I look at Randall.
That is a strategic weakness. That's something that the Stratagarch needs to decide based upon the information that we give him. And so, we have several issues. One is the diplomatic relations between Cauldra and Ionius. One that we, at least based upon our mission, still wish to open. Second is a potential combining of military forces based upon what's happening back in Ionius. I'm not sure what's happening there. The demons may be acting upon multiple fronts. We may be surprised when we return back home and be unable to return any message or agreement until we deal with what's happening in our homeland. And third, quite frankly, if we need to get messages out across the world, the Shooting Star may be the best hope. It is the fastest ship when pushed to its limits in the expeditionary force, and quite possibly one of the fastest airships in all the lands. It might be of special use here. I will make that suggestion when we return home.
Right.
Right. As for the diplomatic side of things, she'll produce like a wrapped and sealed packet. Here I've included a plea of aid from your people, while also allowing the establishment of an embassy here in the capital. From there, we'll be able to talk about trade routes and military aid, and possibly beseeching the rest of the people of Cauldra to lend their aid to a military offensive against the demons. And she'll slide that packet over to Randall.
This packet shall remain sealed until we return to the Stratagarch. It will be up to him to make the decisions.
Thank you very much. On a personal request,
yes,
I will be stuck here to be leading my people. So I do request, if you do by some happenstance run across those demons again, if you can manage to take back the speaker's crystal from them and return it to me, I would be most grateful.
Of course, my lady.
We will consider it a quest.
Yes. If the demons wanted it so bad that they were willing to not only keep their word, but stop an invasion when demons have only been known to ravage the land and want war, and their motives are unknown besides just destruction. It must be returned back, and I can think of no better person to give it to than you.
Right. Well, I do thank you very, very much for the work that you've done on here. And like I said, Siet wasn't able to find much, but we have put together some foods for enough for a couple days of travel. About the best we can spare for you.
Cauldron food is far more than ordinary. It's far more than ordinary sustenance. It's been some of the treats that we've had since we've arrived.
Yes, and
It speaks well of your.
I'm sure the shops aren't open yet, right, from the invasion. So,
Well, right now the shops are collapsed.
right. Is that bad, huh?
Well, let's put it this way. We've lost about I don't know, about 40 to 60% of the population of the city.
Wow. They must be stopped.
All demons must be stopped.
But they cannot be stopped now. We need to rally all peoples against them.
Right. I will try to. Yes.
I have a concern that I must relay to my people as well. What is the state of the shogunate?
I have no idea right now. My father was more involved with the talks with the leaders. The shogunate had shown up to any of these meetings in quite a while.
I want to
I
know how.
exchanged a knowing look with Rosea.
Yeah, I want to know how the shogunate, the ruler, knew the demons. Was it Did they contact him, or did he seek them out?
That would be a question only that they would be able to tell.
Have you declared them an enemy yet? Or do you believe that this is a splinter faction of the shogunate that has turned against you?
She just presses her hands together from her face, thinking, I've not declared anything of such yet. Right now, we're not working. We're working off of little to no information. But
And
all we have is their presence alongside the demons.
and what about the other faction leaders that were in the delegate that we met earlier? Are they still alive?
Yes, the ambassadors went back to their homes, intending to attend the festival later in the week.
If Ionis calls on you, could you muster a force with us?
Of my people at the moment, no. Maybe through the dwarfs and elves. Maybe through them we could muster some forces. I am hesitant to enforce the conscription across the land, but at the moment, it might be needed.
The one, I hate to say it, but the one good thing that comes out of this, maybe the dwarves and elves, so they'll prepare their armies and recruit after this, and hell, hopefully they haven't been hit too. So at least they'll be prepared.
Right.
We have other races adjacent to our lands that we deal with on a diplomatic basis. I'm sure that our rulership needs to speak with them as well, including the Sharkmen.
Mm-hmm. That would be wise, yes.
Randall, what was
We mean
I'm thinking of allies. We don't know how powerful Briar's master truly is. What if Bugabud's master or has connections with the Fey Force or something?
that's something that we'll have to discuss probably later. Right now, our primary mission remains. We need to return to Ionis with the shooting star as fast as we can go. And we need to make certain, as Randall starts to push away from the table and stand, we need to make certain that our allies are willing to come with us. They are spread far and wide, and their homelands may have been affected as well. They may need to return home and visit their families, or those who support them. That might even be true of Kenzo. We need to ask one more time before we leave.
Well, if that is all for here, then she'll stand up and give a nod of her head to the both of you. Thank you very much.
I accept those thanks upon myself, my crew, and my people. For now, by your leave, Your Majesty.
She'll give a nod to you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we meet up with everybody else. If you guys weren't there.
Yeah. As far as the others, going out into the city, there would be a large building damaged but still standing, or Venice Restoration Committee was basically making their home base out of. Yeah. Kenzo and Lesha would be there. Mainly Lesha there, as she was talking with some of the committee members. An eye patch over one of her eyes. Wasn't gone, but yeah, it sustained an injury that never fully healed from the battle.
Lesha!
Wait.
Oh.
I wave to Lesha as I approach.
Pardon me, member. No problem. Lesha would back away from the table with a bunch of people talking over it. Head over to you, Randall.
I assume that you have agreed to come with us on the trip back to Ionius.
Well, I've agreed to accompany Kenzo and where he goes, and I believe he did mention accompanying you.
Then the question is for you, Kenzo.
Yeah, she's turning her head to look at you, Kenzo.
I'd like to spend a Fabula point at this moment.
For?
Oh.
I'd like to alter the story just a bit. Kenzo's not there. When you turn to look for Kenzo, he's not there. Kenzo is in a workshop.
Yeah. You know, this building would have workshops attached to it. Was
even if I had to create a makeshift workshop, Kenzo would be doing that.
Yeah.
And the reason is, Kenzo's in there. He's building something. Is it here?
Oh yeah, your project.
Yes.
Yeah, that I forgot to look over.
It has been a 2-day time skip.
Well, technically, we just started it with the last session, so technically, we're still building it.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be a while before it fully gets made. So
Yeah,
we have time to adjust it so it to where we think that it's fits with what it's supposed to do.
but nonetheless, it still fits the story perfectly. He met his brother. He's in the workshop. He's building this thing. Kinzo's getting ready for war. That's what he's doing.
I thought he was here. He might be in the adjoining workshop. You know, when he's not helping make some supplies for the rebuilding, he's working on his new armor thing right now. Yeah,
Armor?
Come on. Here.
Well,
It's over this way as she exits the building and leads Randall off down a street or two.
I also did that because I have 26 Fabula points. So.
Whoa! I have 17. I thought I had a lot.
I
yeah.
haven't spent them at all. Like, I've hold on to them. So it's time to start using them.
Fair. Very fair.
wow!
Yeah. Luckily, I'm not planning on villains being introduced anytime soon.
Okay.
All right. Fabula point noted. There we go.
25.
I gotta get y'all to spend them.
That's a bad sign. I don't like that.
When the DM's laughing like that, always worry.
Have
I'd like
we
to
run
spend
around
17 Fabula points for the bookkeeper to summon into the world
appears.
so I can slay him.
Bookkeeper appears. He's about out 23 miles tall, and he steps on you.
Oh.
He leans down and be like, careful for what you wish for.
Yeah.
And then the world glitches and it appears like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Damn bugs,
No.
I thought those were fixed in the alpha.
So anyway, we arrive at the workshop?
Yeah, Lesha just walks on in.
Oh, well then I'll follow, sure.
Kenzo's there, and he's beating on a piece of metal. He's dunking it in the water, and it's steaming. And behind him is a mixed-matched array of armor pieces.
Have you made enough for building on the road?
Building what on the road?
Well, I assume we'd be crafting while on the road.
Yeah, Kenzo. We have to go soon.
Yeah. I can box this up.
We have a
looking around in a
workshop
panic.
on the shooting star, and if we don't, I'll spend a Fabula point on it.
I will gladly take your Fabula point.
Okay, I'll spend it. Yeah, there's now a workshop, state-of-the-art workshop on the shooting star for crafting.
I just needed to get started on this. I had it in my head.
Oh no, the shooting star has the best workshop in the. You'll see it. It's we have an engineer too. His name's Zax.
Well, I wouldn't say the best workshop. It's a workshop specialized for the parts that we need to keep the shooting star running. but it can be adapted for other projects.
Well, the best in the fleet, I would say, it's a mobile workshop. We're like a science observation unit, so we have to have a good workshop.
True. This is true, but most of the ship is focused upon speed and observation. Those are the ship's best attributes. Agility, too, to be honest. If you have that much speed, you need to have good maneuvering.
Yeah.
So you're coming with us?
Of course I'm coming with you.
No, I meant Kenzo.
I know.
He's going to look up kind of confused and go, where are we going again?
Ionius, to send a message, and to bring the new queen's missives and statements and information to my father.
Yes. Let me box this up. He starts gathering all the parts together.
So what are you building?
He picks up a box and he dumps it in the box.
So what are you building next?
I'm working on a set of armor. He gets excited, he has his hands out in front of you, and he's excited to tell you about it. I have an idea. You know how the sword works, right?
Yes.
If I infuse Magitech into the armor of my ancestors, I bet I could enhance its qualities and make it more suitable for a battle.
So you're speaking of generating a new set of Magitech armor to be worn.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. Most of the time, we avoid using Magitech being worn. I'm not sure why we avoid that in the armor. We usually put that armor on Magitech soldiers and the machine soldiers that we make. Most of the time, we use more esoteric magics for worn armor, like Rosea here.
Yeah, I think the main reason why fully Magitech armor isn't commonly used is well if it encounters a glitch while encasing a let's be honest, a meat sack. I mean, can you imagine suddenly your wrist rotating 360 degrees?
Yes, but I'm not making a full set of armor. I'm infusing a set that already exists with the qualities of Magitech, with the infusion of its circuitry.
Would you like to look at my shields for inspiration? They're Magitech infused. That's how I cast my healing spell.
Well, that's not quite true. That's runic armor, not Magitech. They're two different things.
Well, matter of fact. No. I'm curious. He's gonna even get more curious. No. I'm still curious about runic. I wonder if I could infuse runic with the Magitech in the armor. You think there's a specialist back in Ionius?
Oh yes, the Queen.
You should meet Zax. He's a really interesting character. He's our engineer on the shooting star.
Well, let's go. He picks up his box.
Well, I guess the only remaining member to speak with is Briar Rosewood and Bugabud.
But that's two.
Speaking of the two. Speaking of the two, Briar and Bugabud have kind of been hanging with the kids that survived throughout this whole ordeal. And
actually, if I may, I would also like to spend a Fabula point to alter that slightly.
Alrighty.
Briar has actually made an appointment with one of the local tailors because the clothing in her reference picture that I made is going to be her new uniform under her new crew and captain that she is now going to get made.
Alrighty. Well, there's not really a tailor open, but because like you and Bugabud have been keeping the children entertained and distracted, mainly Bugabud. Like he's a real hit.
All Bugabug would need to do is just sit there and act cute, and everyone would come flooding in.
Exactly. So it's less of you making an appointment with the tailor and more you talking with one of the mothers, and she's just like, oh yeah, you've done good for my child. Well then, everyone else's. Come here. Let me get your measurements, and I should have it done here soon.
She'll bow. Thank you very much.
So yeah, you probably got measured like yesterday and such, and she's been working with what materials she has through the yesterday and through this morning. So you're coming into the shop, but still keeping the.
He's still off entertaining the kids.
Yeah.
I would like to spend a Fabula point.
Okay.
I would like to make it so, and I need Briar's permission for this, but Briar and Bugabut's master, I forget his name, it will be a powerful ally somehow. Either he has an army of like magical creatures, or he's just super good himself, or something. But I want him to be important in the story.
I mean, given what we've talked about, DM, does that really need a Fabula point?
Well, I want to secure it with a Fabula point.
Yeah, I will steal the Fabula point off Rosea.
Lest you worry, the Great Goobaloo has been a very heavily talked on topic for Briar in the story. So,
is Briar's master? Okay. Great Goobaloo. I have it in my notes.
There's the spelling.
Not gonna lie, kind of making me nervous on how you're just willingly accepting all these points.
We have 17 of them.
Yeah, but he's like, yeah, I'll take your point. Yeah, I'll take your point. Yeah, I'll take your point. Nervous now.
Well, look. Here's the thing. Last session was supposed to be you spending not last session. The session before was supposed to be spending a lot of points.
Well, we went straight to the castle.
So I gotta get through them somehow.
I don't know. Something tells me you have something devious cooked up.
Nah. Not right now.
Yeah, Briar will walk in, announce herself. Hope I ain't interrupting her. I'm not here too soon.
No. Okay. I went by what you kind of drew up, and I have tried to make it work best I can.
I hope the drawing wasn't too hard to work with. I ain't exactly great with art.
Yeah. Well, I kind of use it as a inspiration point to work off of. She brings you over to a small mannequin and that was holding your new outfit.
As Briar walks up and looks at it, her eyes sparkle. It's even better than I thought it would be.
You did mention that you'd be on an airship, so I made sure that has bits that you can pull closer, tighter when you're up on deck, so that the wind doesn't chill you too much. And if it gets a little hot, you can just kind of shrug it back a bit and let your body breathe.
Thank you so much. I bet the captain's gonna love this.
I hope so too. It'll be quieter with that. You and your little critter Booga Bud around.
I'm sure Bugabud will miss the kids too, but I made a promise that I intend to keep, and his crew are sort of becoming a new family for me.
Family isn't important, let me tell you.
Kind of hangs her head a little bit.
A lot of the people out there ain't really got much family around anymore. So we as the community have to be a big old family.
Briar will go up and try to lay a hand somewhere on the woman, or at least as far up as she can reach. Just kind of
she'll just
be comforting
you up. She'll just pick you up and give you a big old mother hug.
Briar is very taken aback at first, having not received anything like that for years. But when she realizes it's happening, she returns the hug, and a few tears drop onto the woman's clothes.
You will be missed here. Now if you do find your way back to town at some point, my house will be open for you and Bugabud to stay if you need to.
She'll wipe the tears from her eyes and smile. Thank you kindly. It means the world to have a home away from home.
She'll set you back down, give you a pinch on your cheek. Now don't let me keep you. Yeah, there's a room over there you can change into over there.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you. And she'll grab the clothes and head into the room to go change into her new uniform. Takes her about a couple minutes, maybe a couple more, due to the more complex pieces than she's used to. But eventually she comes back out, dusts herself off, tightens the scarf around her neck a little bit.
Oh, you do look adorable now.
Hopefully adorable and ready for adventure.
Oh, of course. They make it specifically for that. Make sure it keeps you safe too.
And I promise to keep myself safe too, at least as effectively as I can.
You better.
For the sake of you, the kids, and Bugabud especially, I have to.
Yeah.
Can't let them demons scare me again.
Yeah, it's healthy to have a little bit of fear in you. But also remember, you can't be brave without fear.
You know, my master used to say something similar.
Well, he must be a very wise person then.
Oh, he's not a person per se, but he is very, very wise.
A person? What?
He's a magical creature of the forest, where I come from.
So he's a big bugabut then.
Not exactly. He's less furry and more slimy, kind of like a big frog.
She just kind of gets a little squeamish at the mention of frogs.
Don't worry, he's a very nice frog and very wise and powerful.
Just the sliminess of frogs, I can't. Anyways, you should probably get back out to the kids before they decide to adopt Bugabud for themselves. Because I notice he ain't with you right now.
Yeah, he opted to stay with them, or rather, he didn't really have much of a choice. Yeah, I'll go scoop him up before I meet back up with the others. Thank you again. As she gives a bow.
She'll courtesy with her dress to you.
Then, with a wave and a smile, she'll dash out the door to go fetch her loyal companion. Who I'm sure is be surrounded by children.
Oh yeah, he's just eating it up. So just has that doing the little tippy taps with his nose held high, just like yes, pet me more, yes, yeah.
Briar will get close enough and she'll put her hands around her mouth and call out, Bugabud! Time for us to meet up with the others.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah. And that all is accompanied by the disappointed ahs of the children around.
Briar will go up to the kids and ruffle each of their hair.
What? Will Bugabud be back, miss?
Don't you worry. Me and Bugabud will make sure to come back. We made a promise.
Good, because I was going to teach Bugabud how to do ball soccers.
Bugabud, I didn't know you liked sports. Wait, you don't even know what it is either, but you still said yes? I suppose you were having fun with the kids. Fair enough.
So he'll run up your body and perch himself on top of your shoulder.
Before she heads off, she'll sort of kneel down a little bit and gather all the kids around her.
Big old group hug.
Big old group hug.
Big old group hug.
You take care of yourselves and you be good to your folks and all the others around here.
Well, they will, Miss Briar.
She'll give each of them another ruffle of their hair before she smiles and waves.
Do you have new character art for Briar?
Essentially, what I was thinking is that the clothing in this art piece that I made of her was intended to be what she would wear once she joined the party and joined the crew.
Oh, in character art?
Yeah.
Okay.
The formal adventuring gear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Scribbles, raise his pen.
She's I think me and Ame mentioned she's an artist friend, so.
Right. I thought they were like raising their hand for a question.
If anything, they're raising their pen for inspiration.
Yeah. Cool. I can post what I think of. I made a fig of Randall. I can post that. Great.
Yeah, I think that's actually right above improved Briar.
I believe so. Yeah, it is. It was the last post before I made Briar's updated form.
Yeah. So yeah, if y'all have what y'all currently have for the character arts for your characters and post them in character art.
Cool.
Okay, there's Briar. I'm telling you.
I know Briar and Randall are there.
There's Randall. I think I posted mine in Saga of Sylvonia.
There's the bookkeeper.
So yeah.
There's Rosea. And Kenzo is... Yeah, post yours in character art, Kenzo. When you get a chance. Or the table.
And once Briar says her farewells to the kid, she will go off to find the others.
Yeah, Rosea is a dual shielder.
She's the main tank / healer of the group.
And
I can't imagine them being anything else with 2 shields.
Soon enough. Oh yeah.
Don't know if I have Alessia's old picture. Although with her now rocking eye patch.
Yeah.
Would it be in here? No. And it wasn't in my Fabula Ultima file.
It's probably buried in the table somewhere.
I don't even want to imagine how far you'd have to scroll back to find when it was posted there.
Yeah. Oh, is that the bookkeeper?
Yeah.
Okay. I always pictured the zombie thing from the what's that I'm blanking on the name, the gravekeeper, I think, from that show Goosebumps. That's what I pictured it as.
I mean, the bookkeeper does have a very similar vibe to that.
Yeah. Yeah, but the bookkeeper is all wrapped up in bandages, has glowing eyes.
Before we return to the game, I would like to spend a Fabula point.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
Because I just had an idea. That post right there triggered me. I want a version of Owaka in our game. If you're familiar with who Owaka is.
I found Lesha.
Cool.
Who's Owaka? Describe him or them.
Owaka is a character from one of the Final Fantasy games. He's a wandering merchant. He sells.
Oh, Final Fantasy X.
Final Fantasy X, yeah. He sells just garbage at the very beginning, but if you buy from him, and he asks for a crap load of money, or at least relative to the party, but if you give it to him, his wares get better and better, and he has unique gear that only he finds in the entire game, but you have to fund him a ridiculous amount of money to get it.
Sure.
He's not named Owaka, but we'll encounter him. And we're basically going to fund his merchant empire. And in return, we'll get some unique gear near the end of the game.
Well, I will take your Fabula point.
Okay. Fabula point take. I'm down to 13. Name them whatever you want.
Name them Hesson.
Yeah, and you will be spending a Fabula point on an upgrading shops through the game.
Yeah, he's just a guy with a backpack. He just appears in random spots.
Well,
he does not have a shop, or we never see his shops at all during it. Yet he somehow claims he's building a merchant empire, but we never see the shops.
Well, I won't exactly steal that, but I will steal a shop that's upgrading through the game.
Yeah.
It's just something that you'll have to be checking it up on.
Right. We may miss it.
Okay.
But we may not have the Zenith to spend on him.
Well, here's the thing. It ties it in with something that's going on right now.
Perfect.
As the group goes back to the Marvette and its restoration committee building, because that's the last place Lesha had seen Briar. Because some of the kids are children of those talking inside. Let's see. Well, this here. Not exactly sure where all the kids and Briar ran off to, but they should turn up back here at some point. Yeah,
Not long after she says that, they'll hear the clomping footsteps running towards them and see Briar in the distance. Bugabud hopping on her shoulder.
Jeff just Bugabud just singing on her shoulder.
singing our theme song.
There they are.
She'll wave as she's running and then come to a stop in front of them. Do a little pose. Got my new uniform ready.
Briar. You look great, Briar.
Yeah, she does look pretty good.
She'll blush a little. Thank you. I put together a little. I mean, it was a very rushed drawing, but when I knew I was joining your crew, I put together a drawing of what a cool sky pirate uniform might look like. And one of the mothers whose kids I've been helping opted to make it for me, and it was finally ready, so I went to go pick it up.
Sky pirate?
Well, I mean, I suppose you ain't really pirates, but you do have an airship, and I always heard stories from some of the elders how pirates would usually be on airships.
Sometimes they are, usually as captives.
I will put those images into character art for you, Kenzo.
I may have based the uniform design partially on those stories, but hopefully it still fits in with your crew.
And I'll say, would a sky pirate do this? And I hit my running shields and cast what's it called? Magic soul weapon. That does you abuse your weapon and cleanse the energy of your spirit. Until the spell ends, all damage dealt by the weapon becomes the light type. Comes the light type. If you have the weapon equipped in the spell, you can perform a free attack as part of the same action. So I'll cast it and I'll attack the ground, and it's just glowing with holy light.
Can definitely say I never heard stories of sky pirates doing that.
Yeah, so new trick I learned. So infuse my shields with some of the Ionian technology. This new shield's really giving a kick. The spring shield.
Right. That is pretty cool. Yeah.
What can you do, Lesher? Give me an example.
Let me get. I just made a kind of an NPC sheet for her. Well, I don't exactly have spells, but I can make some magic spheres, which can basically mimic spells. I got one that can cleanse people of elements. I got one that can flash people to distract them, and I have one to basically blast people with a bunch of lightning.
I'll do that. Do it in the sky. I want to see it.
Maybe not in the city.
Oh yeah, true. After the attack, yeah. We have to be more careful than that. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, depending on the size of the spheres that you make, they may fit our ship cannons.
Perhaps. I can always change up what's in the spheres. I just
Forgive me. I'm joking, actually. Our ship cannons are not designed to handle Magitech. We use conventional weapons.
So you don't have any magic cannons?
Well, it was planned for the shooting star, but the shooting star has another role. It's not truly built for frontline combat. Therefore, we were never issued the Magitech cannons that fit on most of the airships of the fleet.
Yeah. Well, I can quickly make a Magitech magic. Oh, sorry.
It's not entirely true. We were fitted with magic cannons, but the only ammo that we carry is distractionary, basically light or dust to attract incoming fire, so that we can maneuver and potentially escape. Most of our cannons, they can pack a punch, but it's only conventional weaponry.
Right. Yeah, I could also make a magic and in a pinch to use in a battle.
Oh, don't worry about that. Once we return to Ionius, the kingdom, especially the larger cities, bristle with these types of weapons. It's relatively easy to find the Magitech cannons we need in a pinch, if we do need them. The problem is stabilizing them aboard a moving platform that can fly and changes altitude, yaw, pitch, and roll rapidly.
Right.
Oh, by the way, when we board the ship, there are several different techniques that I'll have to teach you to move around and to stay safe on board the ship in case we enter battle, especially in the air.
Right. Ugh. I just hope that I don't get airsick.
That happens. That's why when we get in the air, we'll begin those maneuvers nice and slow to make sure that our most powerful crew members are able to withstand the rolling deck.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I made sure these clothes would be able to help me with the temperatures up there, but definitely not gonna help me from getting seasick or air sick in this case.
Well, we'll talk
Right.
about temperature when you arrive, too. It can be a bumpy ride up there. Cloud cover. There are pockets of warmth and pockets of cold, too. Pockets of moisture, also. Things to be aware of.
She'll
Oh,
loosen the
oh,
scarf a little bit over on her neck to showcase the flexibility of the clothing. That was planned for, too.
Wise. Very wise. Unfortunately, and I will warn you ahead of time, unfortunately, once we board the starting ship, the Shooting Star, that is not only an Ionian vessel of war, but I am its captain, and I will have to have authority, and sudden authority, on board ship in every single matter to protect all of the ship, its capabilities, and all of its crew, including you.
Right.
You've given me no reason to doubt you before, and given I have really nowhere else to go, I'm ready to follow whatever orders are needed.
Well, don't misunderstand me. I'm just telling you that my attitude's going to change from diplomatic to, well, that of a ship captain. And a ship's captain has to have a different attitude than a diplomat does. I'm not really a diplomat, I'm just an envoy. So my attitude here is going to be a lot different than aboard the Shooting Star. The Shooting Star, after all, is not only my home, but it's the home of dozens of crew members that depend upon me.
You do
And
very
we'll
well
have,
making orders, Randall.
well, I won't be the only one. After all, Rose is head of security, and we have Malachi Hutza, who's the commanding officer of the ship. You'll meet them all. You don't have any problem with sharks, do you?
The one that was selling them paintings wasn't so bad, so I think I'll be fine.
Well, we have sharkmen, including some hammerheads, aboard our ship as crew. We also have a selection of birdmen as well. Those are the two main species that are allies to Ionia.
Hammerheads? You say those
Oh, yeah.
sharks have hammers for heads?
Oh, no. Their eyes are much further from their faces. They stick out almost like thick tentacles from the sides of their heads. It's a different... It's a variation on the sharkman physique.
Fire will put a hand under her chin and be like, that's a weird mental image.
Well, that's why they're known as hammerheads, because since their eyes stick out the sides of their heads like that, they look like hammers.
They are friendly, rough around the edges, but they call themselves the wolves of the sea. That's why they're great allies to us.
Well, then I hope when I get on board, I'll be able to get along with everyone and become an essential part of your crew.
Well, you'll all be introduced. I assume that many of you have not had experience with either the birdmen of the Eyrie or the wolves of the sea.
Most of the creatures I interacted with back in the forest were full-on magical creatures, nothing like beast men, so definitely kind of new for me.
Well, the beastmen aboard my ship have their own secrets. Some of them are indentured servants willingly working off debts to the kingdom or debts to others by service. Some of them have paid their debts and continue to stay on as valued crewmen. They've made this ship their home. And they will fight about it.
Doesn't get too rough up there, does it?
Well, on board any seagoing or airship, there is a bit of roughhousing that happens from time to time. There are disagreements, and I allow many of the crew members to settle matters themselves if they can. Unfortunately, sometimes security has to get involved, or I have to get involved in something called a captain's mast, where the affected parties meet at the mast of the ship, and then I make a decision based upon the ongoing mission of the ship and the whole of its crew against the individuals that interfered with it. Sometimes captain's mast can be a good thing, where I place commendations or special privileges upon members of the crew who have performed well.
You remember that one time you had to do a captain's mast when to decide who won in a game of cards?
Well, that's only because the game turned violent. We banned gambling for a week. Not that it was effective, but it did send a message.
Yeah.
I can't imagine going to fisticuffs over something like a card game.
When you're out there on the sea or in the sky, sometimes that's all you have, and your thoughts turn inward, and everything becomes much larger than it would be on land or amongst other people. Things can get personal relatively quickly when that's all you have.
So, kind of like how me and Bugabud are with each other.
Well, not quite the same, no. Sailors, whether through sea or sky, they're special people. You'll understand once, well, over time. I'm still getting used to some of my crew members, just as they're getting used to me. But first we need to get there. And in order to do that, we need to leave Cauldra safely. That's the next challenge, figuring out how to get back to the ship in the shortest amount of time. We obviously can't use a rider because those riders have been by, well, repairs and getting news out to the rest of the kingdom. And may all of the sky spirits favor Queen in this respect.
She has a tough reign ahead of her.
Well, she's also handling the death of her father quite well. But this is her kingdom, not ours. We need to head home. So I assume that it's firmly agreed that the rest of us, that we will form an adventuring party in addition to being crew aboard the Shooting Star?
Fire will give a smile and a nod, do a little salute.
Kenzo, what about Bugabud? That's what I thought.
He says
Bugabud.
yes.
I know what he said.
Wait, you've learned how to speak Bugabud?
I can tell.
Here, I thought I was the only one who could understand him. I didn't realize people not used to magical creatures could actually learn their language.
Then you'll be treated as guests aboard the Shooting Star for the entire trip back to Ionius. And, if you wish, then you can perform duties on board my ship. And we've been through a lot. At least I owe you that.
It's not that I learned his language. It's just I could kind of tell what he's saying. You know what I mean?
I suppose learning a whole magical language would take a lot more work than that. But I'm sure Bugabud will appreciate having others who can actually understand him. No, that does not mean you can talk behind the others' backs. Come on now.
Is that what he said? I thought he was saying I want a scritchy on the chin.
Well, I'm sure he won't say no to that.
Here you go, Bugabud. I scratch him on the chin.
One of his little legs starts to kick a little.
Oh, did you post Bugabud in character
art? Actually, I don't know if Bugabud is in there.
Not in character art.
I do not currently see Bugabud.
Let me.
I have no idea what this looks like.
Let me grab the adorable little bugger.
It looks like I don't even know how to describe it.
Oh, that's so cute.
Sort of like a magical flying squirrel like thing. It's the best description.
I want one. I want one really bad.
That is the power of Bugabud.
You have to go in your wardrobe in your closet to go to Narnia to get one.
Don't tempt me. I'll be gone for a week catching bugabugs.
So I guess now the plan is to leave the city to get to the shooting star.
There's nothing left for us here, unless anyone can think of any supplies that for the trip.
Well,
and supplies are thin here.
Yeah, well, let's getting supplies for the trip, but the city has a restoration committee setting up, but they're dealing with a lot of issues. Supplies, food, manpower, which some of that isn't something that can be easily solved. But they are taking any and all donations, be it like food, random supplies, or just straight up money. All proceeds will be. Yeah.
Who do I donate to?
Come on inside.
I can go inside.
Yeah. Tom! And an older guy with a beard will kind of stand up from the table. Come on over. Yes, Lusha. We have someone that I think Rosa was asking about. was asking who to donate to for the restoration funds. Well, we haven't specifically labeled a person for that, but I will be glad to take any donations and be marking them down for when we do label someone for a treasurer, so to say.
Yes, I have this Ionian runic shield. I got during the festival. I won a better shield actually than my own Ionian one. I was so surprised. It was the spring shield, so finely crafted. But I have no use for this Ionian shield now. Perhaps you can trade. Its value is around 200 zenit. Now, perhaps you could trade for food or supplies, or even use it if you need to.
Yeah, he'll take it. Look it over, kind of nod his head a bit. Should if I only make, I'll have to take your word on a 200 zenit value on it.
A word, Lieutenant Commander?
Okay. 1 second. And I go to Randall.
You may want to reconsider trading away that runic shield. The reason is simple. It was issued to you specifically during your training. It's considered part of the uniform, at least for you. It's a provisional uniform, based upon your anomalies.
Oh, well, I'm not using it. I think it'll be okay. I'm using the spring shield instead.
Well, I strongly suggest that you keep at least one of them.
Yeah, I got one of them.
That's really my only concern. I don't want you to be out of place, or worse yet, to miss an opportunity later.
Okay. Okay, Randall.
And I simply add, thank you. And I walk back to the rest of the group, put my hands behind my back, just like I had before.
I think it'll be okay. Yeah, you can have that runic shield.
Very well then. I'm sure one of us can figure out a place where we can sell it so we can buy up supplies elsewhere. At the very least, use it for trade.
I'm sure among the survivors, a lot of people are going to be wanting to join the army.
Oh, first we have to have homes for people to sleep in right now.
Yeah, but I'm sure a lot of people want revenge and want to protect other people from this happening too.
That too. But for the citizens right now we want to focus on getting the basic amenities back up first. Get homes for people to sleep in, so there's nobody out sleeping on the street as they are right now. Once we have that taken care of, then maybe the people can start putting effort into joining the army for revenge, as you say it. Although that will leave us more undermanned for rebuilding.
Revenge?
I'm sure people want to get revenge for the demons.
Revenge is not enough. And revenge is not a good reason for war. Not even justice is enough. It is the hope of building a better future free of these demons. That is the purpose of any good war, if there is such a thing. It is hope for the young that they should not have to experience war.
Yeah, yes.
Wars begun in anger never truly end.
Well, thank you very much for the donation. Yeah, this will be used to get the coffers going for the rebuilding.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Briar will actually walk up to the desk as well and pull out 100 zenit.
That's very generous of you, Briar, for someone so young.
Yeah, are you sure, little one?
I'm sure. I got to spend a lot of time with kids and folks who lost a lot of people over the past few days, and I want them to have a brighter future. And I hope this helps.
Very well then. He'll take down the money, make a note on a paper for whoever will end up being the treasurer, which may or may not be him with how he's acting now.
Rosea's gonna say, "Yay, donation sisters!" and extend a pinky to do a pinky handshake to Briar.
Briar will meet her with her own pinky and share in it.
And I just smile and nod.
Then we'll have to return to see the results of the cauldron's work.
Indeed.
I already made a promise to visit myself. I fully intend to see how things go.
Yes. There's a great deal that we can do for these people.
Yeah. And don't underestimate any orphans. I was once an orphan, and orphans can do a lot with their lives given the opportunity.
At which point I place a hand on Rosea's shoulder and say to Rosea, looking her in the eyes, "You're not an orphan anymore."
Oh, Randall.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have become orphans in this week. But we as a community are keeping together. Making sure that nobody goes without Not a place to sleep, at the very least. But thank you for the donations that you've given to us. And again, thank you very much, Madame Lesha, for donating your engine to the rebuilding efforts. Yeah, well, I can't exactly bring it with me on a travel. So, best be put in the hands of people that can actually use it. Either way, thank you very much. Your expertise will be missed. So get bow of his head, start head back to the group of people talking about rebuilding efforts and whatnot.
Back to talking business.
Yeah. All right. Well, you said that you had your ship parked on the northern coast.
Yes, it's quite a distance from here. We couldn't park it any further inland, simply because it would have caused a diplomatic incident, since it is technically a ship of war. We could only park it, or dock it, more appropriately. We could only dock it at one of the furthest points on the border. Even though we are within Cauldron waters, it was still accepted. We had to make quite a bit of negotiations to dock the ship there. It proved to be quite the sensation, since it's a completely different model from the Cauldron airships.
No, I don't think those old treaties stand anymore. We could probably fly it as we want.
Well, we'll see when we get there.
Yeah. Well, I know that there's that road that goes through the mountains. Yeah, it goes by the
Who said that?
Lesha.
Oh, I'll pay attention to Lesha.
Yeah, I mean,
Are you pulling up the map?
It's the same. If it's the same mountain pass that we came through, then we have some familiarity with it.
right.
We were warned that there could be heavy snow in that particular mountain pass at certain times of the year, but not during this time of the year. So we should be all right.
Yeah, that checkpoint is near a town called Haristia.
Haristia.
A farming town near the mountains there. And to remind you, this is the. Let me copy and paste this. This is the town you had the first session in.
Oh.
Yeah, where the now perished Terrence and Tim Grain were from.
Ah, and the tomb of Gerard, where the ambrosia is. That's where the chemist is.
And wasn't Tim's body found dead?
Yep, Tim and Terrence.
In the town, yes. So, well, unfortunately, it's going to be too difficult to look for them. We can at least tell the Haristians where Terrence and Tim now lay.
This is a grimdark JRPG, by the way.
Hey, there was a chance y'all could have saved them.
But there is reason to let the townspeople know of this, and to be our own emissaries of what's happened here, to give them fair warning.
Yeah, of course. Well,
besides, I'm interested in checking up with the chemist's progress if we run into him. Otherwise, we'll only stay there long enough to continue the journey.
Well, let's be on our way, I guess, and keep your eye out for hollow spheres.
True. That is a good point. We're going to the overmap?
Yeah. Right.
For overworld travel.
We're going to go world travel?
Yep, and it's here for traveling to the checkpoint, or if you want to put some extra time to go to the village, then the checkpoint.
No, none of the above. Because we're on the overmap, I'm going to use Treasure Hunter 1. I'm going to roll D6 to see if we find anything along the way.
Well, that's part of the overworld roll.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just confirming if you were going to be going like straight to the checkpoint or making a small detour to the village before going to the checkpoint.
I think we should go to the village. We might need some more supplies.
And we can roll along the way.
Yeah, so we will do 2 days of travel to get to the village.
Okay,
so
I roll twice.
Let's see. It will. Yep, it will. Yeah, 2 travel days. While you are on a road, right now the manpower on the road is low, so you will be rolling a D8.
A D8 for
travel.
Okay.
Yeah, because let me bring up the travel rules because I'm pretty sure I'm.
What does your treasure hunter do, Zax?
Travel day and roll is page 106.
When your group journeys on the world map, you will make a discovery on a roll of skill level +1 or lower on the travel roll instead of only 1, which means I get to roll. Normally, it's just a 1 on a D6 period. And then in my case, it's a 2 or less.
Well, it's a 1 or 2 on a travel roll.
What is a travel roll? Is that a D10 or D8 or D6?
I think it's a D6, isn't it?
That depends on the threat level of the travel.
Okay, so it's a D8, and then we get a treasure roll. We get a discovery on a 1 or 2. Okay.
So the die can be column checked. Gotcha.
Yep.
All right, D8 goes X.
Okay, I need a 1 or a 2. No.
All right, you got a 5, so you encounter no danger. You spend a day traveling along the road, eventually settle down somewhere for the night to rest.
Yeah, then I'll tell campfire stories, and we'll do watches. I'll take the longest watch, and I'll make sure my bed's right next to Zax's, so we're touching. Or I should say Randall's.
And meanwhile, during that night, I'm going to make sure that my watch and Rosea's are staggered so that we're not sleeping against each other. You ready for the second day of travel then? Unless there's anything somebody wants to do overnight?
Yeah, unless somebody wants to do anything during the night.
Is there a lot of people on the roads?
Not really.
Okay.
All right.
I imagine most people don't have the luxury to travel right now.
1!
Ooh.
Discovery.
You make an unexpected discovery. Thankfully, I did right for a discovery.
Yes! Treasure!
All right.
Wait, what's that? Just off the road. Do you see that? Do you see that glimmer? What is that?
Yeah. You're traveling through a bit of a forested area at the moment, and yeah, like you said, glinting would catch your eye, and diverting to go check it out. You eventually. Oh, yeah. You eventually enter into a clearing. Here, this would lead to an old shrine, overgrown with ivy and moss. The area around it feels very safe.
Kenzo, Briar, here, help me remove some of these vines.
Briar will nod and get to work.
Most shrines, like this, are dedicated to older figures, much like the tomb of Gerard. The cauldrons have a lot of legends that they pay attention to. This might be a lost shrine, part of their history. And we can refer this location of this shrine to people of Harista when we return. Perhaps it's already on a pilgrimage, and we're just helping to clean up the site, which is just as good. That's better. Now, what are we exactly looking at?
Yeah. So yeah, you clear enough to uncover a plaque that some of the inscription upon on it is broken, but there's enough that you can make out Sorcerer Queen, and then you only have the first three letters of LAV. Then the rest is just kind of broken off and unreadable. And then underneath it says Healer's Garden.
Sorcerer Queen.
I turn Levanthriel. Of course, Levanthriel. That has to be it.
Well, I'm glad you remember the name.
I'm pretty sure it was Levanthriel, or Lysandra, or Etienne. I forget it. I'm sorry.
Does that mean this queen is related to the Sorcerer King, whose old place was what we explored earlier?
Oh,
I'm going to start searching around the base of the plinth. Well, it's possible that sorcerer kings and queens were the older class of rulers in this region, or perhaps these entire lands. I wish we knew more. I wish we had contact with the elves and the dwarves and the other allied races of this land. One of them may have the full story.
Well, if I remember the Cauldron history right, Sorcerer Kings and Queens were the people that were first able to master the power of mana after the tree appeared and started spreading its branches around. I mean, isn't that why it's called the Tree of Mana?
Well, at that point, I'm going to look up at the sky. Tendrils of silvery white that stream across the sky like clouds.
I would like to do a ritual, detect magic with ritualism, or basically detect magic tech. I want to see if there's anything fishy with this shrine.
Let's see. Spiritualist.
It's not spiritualist. It's ritualist. It's the default one.
Oh wait. Okay, hold on there.
Ritualism, I think it is. It's from having one level spiritualist, yeah, but it's not the spiritualist rituals. It's the
Neat.
ritualism one.
Let's see. Page 118. Here we go. There. Alrighty, so for a ritual, I assume for potency, it'll be minor because you're just kind of trying to detect magical effects.
Mm-hmm.
And for area, we'll say small, so a bit of a grove. That should be enough to get. Yeah.
Yes.
A small clearing, yes. That is covered under a small area. So that will make the MP cost doubled, and for minor, the base MP would be a 20. So you will use 40 MP, and you will give me an insight willpower roll.
Sure.
Your DC is a 7.
12. Crit. Doubles.
Oh, you crit.
Hey!
Well then.
Okay, let's see where.
Opportunity. I find a treasure. That is magical. That's what I'm detecting.
All right.
Did you pin the opportunities on the Saga of Sylvonia?
I believe we
Yeah, we
posted and
them.
pinned it
Lost
multiple times.
item. Lost item. An item is destroyed, lost, stolen, or left behind. That's what I want. And it's a magical item near the shrine. That's what I'm detecting. It pings magical.
Okay, and you're sure you want it to be a lost item?
Yep.
Alrighty. I know exactly what to do.
Okay.
Alrighty. So you pour the mana into your Magitech to start or doing this ritual, detecting the magic around the area. The first thing you notice is that there is a low grade magical effect across this entire area. Basically a soothing aura,
Mm-hmm.
and you with your best guess, your words, they're hard.
Yes.
Yeah, you're with your expertise in reading magical effects, this soothing aura. You believe that if you were injured and rested here long enough, it would heal wounds. It but may not get rid of scars across one's body, but it would probably make those scars ache less or help wounds seal up easier. Living
Okay.
up to the name of a healer's garden.
Okay.
You can also spot a couple herbs around that glow brighter with this soothing healing property that Kenzo, with his expertise, could probably turn into some potions or remedies or whatever they're called in this system.
Yeah.
There's the treasure. There's the treasure. The herbs.
No. Here's the treasure that you find. Because the herbs were all going to be there anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we find something extra.
Yeah. Yeah. You notice that there's still a bunch of growth covering up a part of the plinth that the plaque is on. So you start pulling some of the ivy and vines away, and you uncover an alcove in this plinth that holds a singular bottle that it's a small one, more like a vial. And it has a small bit of golden liquid in it. A drop of ambrosia.
Okay. I'll say, wow, this place is full with healing magic. Kenzo, get those herbs. You can make those into potions. And, what is this? It's ambrosia!
Yeah, I think one of you had picked up an ambrosia drop up from the festival.
I believe I have that.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations. You've got a Final Fantasy elixir. Time to put it into the Too Good to Use club.
Oh.
Alright, what does drop of ambrosia do?
If I remember, that's full HP and MP recovery.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put that in my inventory. I'm gonna put the herbs in the group loop. And I wanted to spend a Fabula point. I was thinking about it.
For?
I gave away my shield, right? And Zax's little input had me thinking. Maybe my character's anomaly was that she was born with this unstable magic, and the island military did secret experiments on her without her knowing. And
No.
no, okay.
Nope.
Well, how about this? The shield. How about the fabulous point for the shield to come up? It's somehow important to the item military gave it to her. It's going to come up later.
It can come up later, yes.
Okay, I'll leave it up for you to decide that.
I also would like to spend a Fabula point.
Oh, here we go. All right. More lore.
Because what I'm thinking is when Briar heard the explanation that Lesha gave on the Sorcerer Kings and Queens and about the Tree of Mana, it makes her recall some stories that her master used to tell her about how apparently he was but a humble, normal toad who lived near the Tree of Mana, but the tree granted him his magical sentience, and how that is going to start to make her think that maybe he's a Sorcerer King.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that.
The evil DM laugh. Uh-oh.
Well, him saying that could have more implications than you know.
Yeah.
That's very true. Briar would simply be making the connection of like, oh, let's just said that thing. Maybe he's one of them.
Yeah, because it's like Randall would know. The area around the mana tree is a desert now.
Well, I don't think that I would know that because nobody's been there.
And Briar would only know the vague descriptions and stories that she's heard.
Right. Nobody's been near that tree since the last demon war, and truthfully, most of the demons fought well away from it. So nobody knows. That area is completely unmapped. Part of the reason that Randall got interested in flying and exploring in the first place, try to find out the secrets of the world.
There we go.
Okay. So
Fabula points taken.
The shield's gonna come up again. I wonder what he's gonna cook up for that.
I have an idea.
Well, spend the Fabula point and see if he'll allow it.
No, because I don't want to do that in game. This is too good. Too good to do it in game.
Oh yeah, because I think you correctly guessed. If I remember right.
So, Kenzo, do you collect the herbs? Does Kenzo recognize the herbs? Does Leisure recognize the herbs?
Kenzo will collect the herbs. He'll pluck them.
Do you pluck all of them, or do you pluck a few here and there?
Just
well,
a few.
It doesn't. Yeah, I'm going to restrain him from plucking all of them. And I said, wait, don't take all of them. We'd also need to make a sign out near the path, so that passerby can use this garden to heal along the way.
All right, let's see.
Since there was no direct path here that we would have noticed, we need to make one.
It's a beautiful garden, isn't it, Randall?
Ooh, there's a lot of herbs about.
It's clear that this used to be far more beautiful than it was. Look here. There's stonework here. This used to be much more developed than it is now. This place has been lost for a very long time. It appears that my skills as a wayfarer and explorer may uncover not merely treasure, but lore of the past. Lore of the past that's coming back to be used now, right when it's needed. I never thought of it that way before. I suppose that this means that the exploratory core has more than one use than simply mapping the land. I never thought of it that way before.
Exploring the land is also exploring the history of the land as well.
That's
when you
true.
Think about it.
That's what you've done for your entire life. That is a good way of looking at things. I agree. So we probably need to be a little bit more careful and circumspect about the places we find, much like this. Ordinarily, we would want to preserve such things until others could make best use of it. But clearly, this healing garden is going to be of great need, not only to the capital city, but to the place where we're going. I say we move on.
Right.
Oh, so the healing potions are herbs plus ? And we haven't discovered that in the crafting menu yet?
Oh yeah, because you've only made berry potions so far.
Yeah, we don't have the formula yet. Okay.
But yeah, Kenzo gathers up 7 bundles of these herbs. Because while yes, he is restraining from picking all of them, there's just a bunch around. So he's able to get.
We should rest here tonight and then complete the travel to Harista in the morning. make best use of the healing garden ourselves.
It would be a soothing place to rest.
I agree. It might be one of the last chances we get.
Yeah.
So we make camp here.
Yeah.
And I have full IP, so we'll pull out a tent, get it set up, and take the second night here. Even though it would be 2 nights, we probably do want to be at full strength, because I have a funny feeling that we're going to encounter some difficulty before the shooting star. Is anyone not at full HP or MP?
Everyone should be, because y'all. It's been long enough that y'all have had rests and such.
In which case we can.
40 though.
True. We should rest here. Is there anything that anyone wants to do tonight at the healing garden? I'll bet you there are pretty fireflies that come out.
Oh, yeah.
Briar will definitely take some time during the night to watch the fireflies.
I want to have a scene.
Alrighty.
With Rosea.
Oh, my.
So, I have my hands huddled around my knees, looking at the fireflies, and I ask Rosea, completely blithely, so, I need to ask a personal question. I know that I've been strictly professional with you all this time, but I need to ask you a personal question to illuminate what I might want to do in the future. Have you ever thought about having someone? I mean, a life partner. Someone to share life.
Why do you ask? And I blush and put my hands to my mouth.
It's because, as a member of the royalty, usually these things are decided for us. Usually for diplomatic reasons, to make alliances with other nations. Those arranged marriages can be awkward at best, soul-crushing at worst, mostly in service to a combined people through that alliance. We members of the royalty, of royal blood, we're not allowed to choose someone to share life with. But I don't want to be a sky captain forever. What happens when I get old? What happens when I start to get old? Sometimes I think about all of the things that I'm not free to do, like commoners are. I can't choose to have children with whoever I want to. I'm not allowed to simply marry of my own free will, not without the approval of my family.
You can always rebel. I mean, you're like fifth in line? They won't care.
No. Royal blood extends not only through the first generation, but others. You have to be very careful about who we associate with, especially as a life bond. I've just been thinking, especially since I've been away from home, all of those people that have ordinary lives and they're just able to. It's complicated. I can't find the words. I just wish I had someone to care about me holistically for who I am.
I care about you, Randall.
That's not what I mean. I know that you care about me, and I know that you support me. You're a fine bodyguard and a good friend. But sometimes I worry that I'm just going to be fulfilling this task, and then once the task is done, that I'm just going to be alone. that the world will no longer have need of me, what happens then?
Randall, do you think I'm pretty? And I bat my eyelashes at him.
Pretty? I glance over, but instantly look away. As your captain and your friend, I certainly can't speak to that. That would complicate our mission and our relationship. The professionalism that we forged over time is very important, and it's vital to far more than just you and me. Besides, as I've mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, I'm not allowed to simply love someone without complicating my royal standing. And that's important to me, even though it is distant.
Well,
it's complicated. But I'm asking you, what do you think? What do you want?
You want to know what I think? If you want to keep it professional and you don't think of me like that, that's fine. But if you ever change your mind, I'm always here for you. And but why did I say that? I shouldn't have said anything. But I don't know, Randall.
Wait. You were interested in me as more than just colleagues?
I think so, yes. But now you're gonna abandon me now, aren't you?
Abandon you? No, it's not like that. I couldn't. I'm not able to do that. After all, you've been a bodyguard to me, assigned as a bodyguard since the academy. We've known each other for a very long time, and you're a trusted crewmate. And if this desire of yours is going to complicate things, then that gets even more complicated than it is now.
Well, let's think of it as a greater motivation to protect you. Just promise me you'll never date anybody else, because that would break my heart.
Well, you can be certain of that, because I'm simply not allowed to do so. Not without complicating things. And now is the worst time to even think of such a thing. I was more concerned with, what do you plan on doing? What could you do if... Well, I guess you've answered that question. Now I have a lot more to think about.
Think about it, it's we're good friends, so I feel like I can be. I've been wanting to tell you for a long time, but I didn't have the courage to. But you don't have to be alone, Randall. Just think about it, okay? I kiss him on the cheek.
Well, thank you for being kind and understanding of the restrictions my position has. I am very grateful. I'll sleep on it. He rolls over, lies down, and decides to sleep on it. He doesn't.
That was fun. Hope that wasn't too awkward. I don't know. I've never done a crush romance before in character. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm having fun with it.
Honestly, it's exactly the kind of awkward back and forth that would be in a JRPG's crush writing.
Monty's here.
Hey, Monty.
Am I a pigman today?
No, you're an alien.
Artesian!
Ah, the alien.
You are Artesian.
Yes, I am.
And it's a good reason for Artesian to show up at a healing shrine. What a concept!
Oh.
How convenient.
Is it like a shrine? Is it like water? Like what? Grab it to me.
DM, take it away.
It's a clearing in a grove of trees with a shrine in the middle of it. dedicating it to a sorcerer queen, although most of the name is unreadable. Like they could only get the first 3 letters. And it lists this place as a healing garden. There's a soothing aura in the air, and Kenzo's already plucked a few herbs for making some potions later. There's fireflies about since it's nighttime.
It's Randall who approaches Etesian, since Randall cannot sleep. Etesian, how did you find us?
Well, I go through all the gobbledygook right now, but I just feel like we're getting some relaxing. This place looks nice. If they could build a little shack or something here, the cottage, home away from home.
Well, our plan is to place a sign back at the path. We found this by accident, or by providence, one or the other. We plan on making a marker so that the people between Hestra, you remember the town where we went into the tomb of Durar to find the ambrosia?
Mm-hmm.
We're headed back there. We're planning on making a sign here for those, as well as the people in the capital, to use this healing shrine. They'll need it during the demon war that's coming.
Mm-hmm.
We're on our way back through that town, through Hesteria. Perhaps dropping off some news on our way back to my ship, the Shooting Star. Will you be coming with us?
Why not?
Well, you've helped so far, and you're
What kind of ship is it?
You're the only person that I know that has come from Mysteria. So I'll be willing to put aside my differences with that land in order to have you aboard as a temporary or honorary member of my crew.
Well, all right. Does it come with a hat?
The hat? What's special about the hat?
I said, does it come with a hat?
Oh, does it come with a hat? Well, it depends on the weather.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind, since I can't sleep, then I suppose we could both take the second watch until morning. We'll be moving on at sunrise.
Sounds like a plan.
I wake up and I'm like, Etesian, oh, there you are. Tell me about your past. Where are you from? Mysteria, what's that like?
Oh, yeah, that place. Let's see. Syria. So, like, when I was little, like, we came there. I moved away from there, I guess you could say. And
Yeah, I heard it was all about magic.
yeah, they get these big halls, big buildings. They kind of like dome shaped, and you're all like sitting in a big circle along the wall, and that's how they teach you. They step forward to like practice against these like mannequins and stuff. That
Is it true that like magic's a religion there?
yeah, I mean, kinda. We'll call it that. More than that, because like it's in your day-to-day life. Like you want to open, like you want to make an onigiri. There's some magic for that. You want to get the bone out of the fish. It's magic for that. It's everything. A parts of life. It's like it's just entwined in everything you do. Basically. And that's how it teaches. And it's about not No, not like using it for more nefarious, angles of life.
Well, with the
A lot of people
demon
would.
invasion in Cauldra, there's 60-70% of the population is dead now.
Hmm.
We we're gonna need soldiers. You think Mysteria was gonna fight with us?
I mean, hard to say. I don't know much about how the government's going these days. Never trust the government.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Randall, what do you think about Mysteria?
I have my doubts. After all, Mysteria was the center of the Demon's War, and it came to the other continent. The fighting was so heavy that, well, we don't have much history of Mysteria in Ionis for this very reason. Either they were overrun, or there are whispers, you know them well, back in Ionius, that Mysteria was in league with either the golems, who went beyond their control, or with the demons themselves. There are a number of theories, and many of them are valid since we don't know much about Mysteria today.
Well, I never heard anything about ally with golems and demons. Seems a little dark, doesn't it?
Well, all of the golems came from the direction of Mysteria.
That's so mysterious. Like I said, I heard they worship magic and worship the tree, and are very stubborn and don't want to work well with Ionius.
Or anyone else.
They're
Have
very
you seen any
guarded.
Mysterians? Have you seen any Mysterians in our entire cauldron? No, and there are certainly none in Ionius. I find that very disturbing. Present company accepted.
Oh, thank you.
Well, let's get back to sleep.
If it's a
We have a
racism
long
thing.
journey ahead of us to the shooting star.
Yeah, you should at least return to bed. I'll be finishing up the second watch. We're already halfway through it.
Okay.
Now that Ephesians has arrived and found us, well,
And I mean, I wonder how the town's doing. I know we're picking up supplies there.
amongst other things, we can't dally too much, but we do have time to try to disseminate the picked up. The Hysterians are part of the Cauldron people, and they deserve. I'm sure that the Queen would not fault us for bringing the truth to them.
Uh-huh. Okay. Bye, Randall. I'll wave goodbye.
Forgive me for what I said, Etesian. This was not meant against you.
Ah, don't you worry about it.
My thoughts are on the Demon War and who only war. A lot of that is lost to history. We know the military maneuvers that were done, especially on Ionian lands, but things get fuzzy and less distinct the further away from Ionius that my knowledge travels. And forgive me for being preoccupied with the demon invasion, but since that demoness Tempestera laid siege to the capital city, and now that the shogunate is involved, it's clear that the demons are dividing and conquering as best they can. You know that they have the Speaker's Crystal. Do you know anything about the Speaker's Crystal and the Arcanum?
No, mean, I've been traveling a long time. You know, I left there when I was pretty young. Yeah, pretty young. No historian, no birth and all that.
Do you think that the Arcanum can help us in the Demon's War?
Probably. Can't hurt.
Well, tell me more about the Arcanum that you're in.
Well, what do you want to know exactly?
Well, is it a spirit? Is it an essence? Is it a living being? What is an Arcanum, really?
Oh, God. Oh, it's not more like a spirit, Not more, maybe like things maybe like live in like another dimension, but like we can't see, but it's like in our dimension kind of. God, I don't know. It's not hard. You ever heard of a clockwork elf? Clockwork elves? They say if you take certain substances, you can see beings, that are like can't be seen by your eyes unless you take the substances. Maybe something like that.
So it's
That's
present all the time.
Yeah.
And yet you can summon it, or at least summon its power.
Yeah. So it's like they always exist around you. Maybe you could say more ghost or spirit, if you want. But I see it more like that, Spirit's
so you're not summoning the Arcanum directly, but just a representation of its power.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think.
These essences, how much do you know about the Demon's War and its history? What can you tell us?
Well, not a whole lot, as I said. I wasn't really around for any of that. I've heard some things, some people say. So.
What did your elders tell you? What did your elders tell you?
Well, that's not something they like to talk about. Which, looking back on it, might have been a little suspect, A big part of the history, and they don't want to talk about it.
So you don't trust the Mysterian history either?
No, not particularly. History is written with a certain angle, That what people who write it want the future people to believe.
I see. Well, then I suppose I have only other one question. About the golems, how much do you know about them?
Oh, a whole lot. There's a stone thing.
I mean,
walk around, put a scroll in their mouth.
True. According to the festival, some of them can fly. I've never seen a flying model, but that sounds extraordinarily dangerous considering the power they wield.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Well, considering the size of them, some of them are at least large enough to be classified as a small airship, a small airboat. That could be extraordinarily dangerous for air cover.
Mm-hmm. What's your ship like?
My ship?
Yeah. Mentioning flying.
It's made of a combination of Magitech metal and wood, if you can believe it. The wood is a special kind. You see, Ionius, my homeland, is ice and snow. Most of it. Imagine if you pushed up the land from the seafloor and pushed it almost straight up. That's the Ionian continent, or at least my portion of it. There are lowlands that came up with it, but there aren't very much. High up on top, above the snow line, is where most of the Ionian capital lies, and most of the Ionian power. Beneath it, there are mines, and mines with, mines that we continue to dig because we require geothermal heat for a lot of our city's power, and we continue to have trouble with that. But the wood, you asked about the ship. I haven't had any sleep, so I'm drifting a little. But the ship itself is made of a rich reddish wood. Stone wood is what we call it. And the stonewood trees are very tall and thick. And when we fell one of them, one tree can give as much wood as is needed for a log home.
Wow.
We grow these trees. Most of our trees are log homes. But we also split this wood to make planks for housing and building and tables, and for the sides of the shooting star. So the shooting star is sort of a reddish brown appearance over most of it. But the slate blue that binds it together by the edge of the deck and the keel of the ship, the center line that runs underneath, that's actually Magitech metal. And it helps the ship to steady itself when it flies. The rudder is also made of that. And there are big sails that we can place in various configurations on board the deck with the symbol of Ionius on the sails, so that everyone knows that this is a ship of the fleet. So it looks like a ship that you might see, a ship of sail that you might see. The difference is that it's narrower and longer, with a very long prow that extends in the front, made of that slate blue. The ship has only one mast, but multiple sails that can be angled to tack to the wind. It has cannons, 3 on each side, 2 of them angled backward, 2 of them angled slightly forward, to give more circular coverage. The cannons use ordinary cannonballs and ordinary cannon fire, except for the rear cannon, where we have a few minor Magitech loadouts there, mostly to distract incoming fire, because, well, my ship tangles with pirate airships. They do exist, and sometimes we have to disable those ships and board them to capture those pirates and the things that they've stolen. Sometimes we deal with sky monsters or ocean monsters, and the shooting star has the agility and the speed to reach ships that are in peril and to help defend against those monsters. They're not very big, most of them, around Ionis, but sometimes we have an extended fight. We've been through a couple of those.
Oh. That's exciting.
Underneath the main deck, which contains a lot of ropes to maintain the sails, mooring ropes for docking, and, they're propellers, obviously, underneath. There are multiple decks. Berthing, we have a workshop on board to help repair the ship, and its sensors, which are some of the best things on board the ship. There's a large area in front of the ship, a circle, where we can mount various observational lenses to go over the land and to make maps. It's one of the main functions of the shooting star. Exploration. We needed the ship after the demons. Communications with the other nations were cut off, and we needed to redraw the maps because of the huge damage done by the demons. It altered the very coastline and put great scars across the land, dug gorges, exposed caves, all sorts of things that our ship helps to discover. And of course, smaller things like a galley to feed all of the crew, a medical bay to tend to the injured. Sometimes we board pirate ships and not all of our people come back in full health. We have sharkmen aboard and birdmen of the Eyrie. Sharks call themselves the wolves of the sea. That's a nickname that they have for themselves. So on board my ship, there's an equal component of humans and the 2 main allied races to Ionius, the sharkmen and the birdmen of the Eyrie. So it's a mixed crew. We serve a lot of fish on board, both the Eyrie and the wolves of the sea love their fish.
Not bad. I go for some fish.
Oh, believe me, if we're out on an extended voyage, that will be one of our main foods. And salt. You'll get used to that. And citrus fruits is the other one. We don't get as much of those as we used to since we separated from the other continents, but we do have groves where we grow citrus fruit. It's exceptionally valuable on long trips to avoid a thing called scurvy.
Never heard of it. Is it bad?
Well, it's an extended disease, as you well know. Without the proper foods, your body grows sick. Your gums turn black, amongst other things. You could lose teeth.
Bro.
And lose your eyesight as well. It's an ugly thing. That's why we make sure that we keep our food varied. You'll get used to it. We have a lot of spices on board. Food groups are few, but the spices are many. So I assume that you'll be coming with us to Ionius?
Yes. Yes, I shall.
Then I'll make the same offer that I've made to everyone else. Honorary membership of my crew with provisional crewmanship available should the Stratagarch approve it. Right now we're headed back, and I have the Queen's missives in my cloak, beneath my combat tunic, to hand to the Stratagarch so that they can make a decision on what to do and how to reapproach Cauldron. You do know that the king has died, the Cauldron King.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Queen is in charge, and we are her messengers back home, at least where we came from. Are you sure that you're going to be able to leave?
Yeah,
Could be a very long time before we return.
I have a prior engagement. Just the love of adventure. But I'm going to need a hat, like a nice big hat.
I extend a hand, but I remain firm. I have my misgivings about Mysteria, and I doubt that country. I'm glad that you do too. Whatever we meet, I'll try to put my prejudices against Mysteria aside, to try to make sure that all of us can join in this war properly, defeat the demons, and regain peace for all of our peoples. I'm glad you're with us.
Thank you.
Well, just as a reminder, once we board ship, I will have to be the captain, and that means that I will be giving orders. For safety, primarily.
I get you.
Well, once we get aboard, perhaps you can find a good place amongst the crew. Until then, well, the sun's about to come up, so we're about to get moving again.
Get a horse, or like a cyber horse or something. Don't they make mechanical horses in this universe?
If you're looking for a mechanical or a magical mount, nothing can do better than the shooting star.
Oh, that sounds good.
Come, let's rouse our crewmates, and let's head on.
All right. Are we like doing this like banging a pod or like?
No, that wasn't much of a nap.
Come on, the sun's up. We need to be up and moving.
Right, and I jump up like the ninja jump on from the back to the standing.
Fire takes a bit to rouse Bugabud, who's firmly asleep, but eventually gets his attention enough to wake him up. Come on, you got your tail. Morning, Bud. She says as she picks him up, puts him on her shoulder.
Keys and locks, shoes and socks. Let's go sailing.
Huckabud, who's your favorite?
He puts a paw on Briar's head.
Who's your second favorite?
Puts a paw on his own head.
Who's your third favorite?
Yeah, he just looks down at Paul's, be like, and
Kenzo.
oh.
So, it's time to rise. Kenzo.
You're muted. Are you still with? Oh,
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm here.
It's time to rise. Wake Lesha. We're leaving.
Okay.
How'd you sleep, Kenzo?
Get up, stretch, and it was all right. I slept.
Yeah?
How are you?
Well, we're closer to Harista than I thought. There's a pile of smoke rising in the distance. It must be the house fires of Harista. So, we'd best get moving.
you sound a fair bit more tired than some of the rest of us, Randall. You all right?
Well, I wasn't able to sleep sometimes. Sometimes you sacrifice sleep in the air or at sea. Sometimes the seas or the sky are rough enough to prevent it. I'll be all right. I'll just move slower than normal and have to reserve my energy. But after Harista, we'll be making our way to the ship, and I'll feel a lot more comfortable once I'm truly home.
Right.
Then I guess Rosea can lead the way, give you a chance to slow your pace and recuperate a little bit.
Oh yes, Rosea knows the path that we came from when we moved through Harista. Yes, that is a good idea.
Right. Hi ho. It's off to the village we go.
I'll be right in 3, 2, 1. I'm kidding.
All in a line, back to the overland map. No roll necessary. We can make.
Yeah, no roll necessary. Y'all are close enough to make it to Harestia. Let's just kind of rubbing her head along the journey. Yeah, she had taken her eye patch off during the night to watch the fireflies because that was easy enough on her eye, but she forgot to put it back on in the morning. So she woke up, got a full blast of light in her sensitive eye.
We need to stop off with the mayor, relay what information we know, and including the grim losses that we know Harestia has suffered at the capital. So once we arrive at Harestia Village, I make my way toward the mayor's manor, the jolly mayor that we spent a night with before.
Yeah. As you're going through the streets, even approaching the town itself, you notice that it's quiet. Like there's sound of some of the Magitech machines in the fields operating, but you'd expect more noise to be coming through from the town at this time of day, when it's mainly about farming.
Runners must have come ahead of us. Many of the townspeople are most likely making plans amongst themselves. We still should visit the mayor's manor. Many of the people may already be there this morning. There might be a meeting happening in town of which we...
And yes. You knock on the mayor's door, or what? Wife comes and opens up the door, but oh my! I didn't expect to see y'all again so soon.
We have terrible news from the capital. The mayor needs to know.
Yeah, if it's news we're both thinking of, we're already a little bit aware. We're kind of discussing on how to do treat the harvests.
Is your husband available?
He's currently talking with some of the others, but if you want to come on in, I can let him know that you're here.
Yes, please.
All right. You can sit in here. Then she'll just head on inside. After a minute or two, the rotund mayor will come on in, although he doesn't have the same jolly look about him as he did last time.
I'll hoist myself back to my feet, still weary from the night before, and try to put the best face
if I remember right.
Quite. Yes, sir. We have grim news from the capital.
Yes. We've already heard from runners asking for an early harvest.
Then you know that the demons have returned?
Yes.
And the king is dead?
Mm-hmm.
The grim news that we have to tell your townspeople specifically is that during the fighting, we personally noted Terrence and Tim among the casualties.
We were kind of expecting, considering if Terrence was still able to be moving about, he would have been part of the runners coming here in the first place.
Then we have told you the truth. We do not know where they lay now, but we do know that they are. If your townspeople wish to recover them, note that the greater portion of the capital has been destroyed, and so it may be difficult to find and recover them. But they do deserve a proper rest.
Right.
The day is young, and that is all the news that we give you. And I look at Rosea. As far as I remember.
Yeah, does your town, is it possible to trade for a couple days worth of supplies for our group?
We could probably spare a day or two's worth of food. A lot of it will be being made to be sent to the capital.
And is your chemist available? We have a concern that the very young Ambrosia, not even flowered yet, could be at risk.
Can't remember if he decided to help out on the fields today.
That Ambrosia may be a vital. in an extended war. Finally, we have discovered a healing garden of one of the ancient sorcerer queens. We camped there without harm. We have placed a sign along the main road between Harestia and the capital, pointing to this sanctuary, so that travelers of this town and of other towns may use it.
Well, I'll see if there's someone that could make use of it. At the very least, confirm, make sure it gets put on maps.
Yes, it will be of great use to the wounded or the sick.
Indeed.
I wish we could stay, but as soon as we have our supplies, we do on. We need to get several messages back and forth between kingdoms so that we can prepare for the coming war. The siege was quick, but they will return. Demons throughout history have been nothing if not relentless.
You're not wrong there.
I am sorry, but your people must prepare for the ravages of war.
The way I look at it right now, we already are.
Agreed.
I mean, and half city full of hungry people. Right when the harvest gets ripe, but before it's at the best time to start harvesting.
Agreed. Something is better than nothing.
Yes, but if we do make an early harvest of everything, might end up that there won't be enough to go around later. That's what we're talking about right now.
Then I shall leave you to it. I'm sorry to bear such terrible news of the death of friends.
Clarity on the issues is more welcome than uncertainty.
I agree. Perhaps when we return to this place, it shall be as full allies, and hopefully at good enough strength. I wish you well.
Very well. Take care of yourselves. So, gives a little nod of his head. Heads back inside. Right to where he's having his talks with the locals. That's why wife looks jumpy. Y'all remember where the general store where it is? Purchase yourself a day or two supply. He's there.
You know, all this suffering that these demons are causing really makes me wonder. That spell that my master used to hide the Silverwind Forest during the first one. I wonder if there's a way that we could make it so other places have access to that spell. I'm not sure either, Bugabud. Goobaloo is one of a kind, after all. I'll have to ask him when we get back to Silverwind. It'd only be right.
Now, what is this enchantment over the Silverwind?
Oh, sorry, ma'am. My name's Briar Rosewood. I wasn't.
This is actually Lesha talking.
Oh, I thought that was the mayor's wife.
No, I assume y'all have already.
We probably already moved on, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Silverwind Forest, back where I grew up, my master is also the forest protector, the Great Goobaloo. He, during the first Demon War, I am only going off of stories here, so I don't know the full details, but he used a spell that hid the entirety of the forest during the war, making it so that the demons never even noticed we were there.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. So something of that power is large as it is for a forest. To make it go across an entire continent would probably be a impossible task.
I suppose that's true, but I was wondering if maybe it could work for towns and cities. If nothing else, at least make it so that other people don't have to suffer as much as Cauldra did.
Perhaps.
Of course, at the same time, that's only a question that my master could really answer. I don't know of anybody else who can use spells like that, at least none that powerful.
Yeah. I wouldn't know either. I mean, not that I've really done much into the study of magic.
I'm sure the Great Goobaloo is going to be a valuable ally during this coming war.
That's unknown.
If we
Anyone with
go to him, then I'm sure he'll have plenty advice to offer and magic to share.
Honestly, heroes, allies, enemies, all of those things can change in a war as large. Our role is very small. We're the messengers to make sure that those who are more powerful than us and have access to much greater resources can allocate those resources intelligently. This war isn't up to us to determine. There are kings and armies to field, and we may have to follow in their wake. Or to find the information that they need to strike intelligently. I honestly hope that that's the case, that we are the ones who find the strengths and weaknesses for them to exploit.
Well, I'm sure the Great Goobaloo is going to be a mighty ally. I can just feel it.
Well, I hope that your intuition is correct. There's a great deal of the world that is completely undiscovered. Who knows what allies or enemies we might face?
Honestly, the only real problem with my master wouldn't even be him himself. It would be, well, it'd be some of the people in the village proper, since it was the elders who agreed to have me exiled.
Well, that sounds like an awful story. I'm not going to pry.
I am. Why were you exiled?
Rosea!
I can
Don't you want to
speak
know?
on some of it. So it's pretty obvious to tell that I have a strong bond with Bugabud. I've known him since he was but a baby. And, well, it's that very bond that was part of the problem. Is the people of Silverwind, back in the past when it was first created, the humans and magical creatures of the forest worked together to create a place where we could live in harmony. But something happened between then and when I was born that they started to have a distrust of them, started building walls around the villages to keep them away. And I was told a lot when I was younger to never go out there and interact with them, that they were dangerous. Of course, I still went out there anyway, being a curious little munchkin I was. And not only was that how I met Master Goobaloo, who taught me how to fight and use magic, but it was also where I discovered Bugabud.
So they exiled you for being curious? That's not right.
They felt that my bond to the magical creatures was too dangerous, and even though there were those who contested against my exile, they couldn't do much to stop the decision. So I was forced to go out on the road with Bugabud as my only company for about 3 years.
Bugabud just kind of crawls on your head, just hugging you with the six limbs.
Well, thank you, Bugabud, for taking care of Briar.
She'll reach up and pet him while continuing. We had to take care of each other. It's the only way to survive on the road.
So the woods and the roads around Silverwind you know well.
I know them very well, yes.
Then this could be a strategic retreat for us, should the need arise.
I still can't promise much in relation to Silverwind itself, aside from my master. But if you do ever need to traverse those roads, I could easily be your guide.
Duly noted.
But for now, I know you'd much rather take care of pressing matters back in your home. So I will go where you go.
That's quite the promise. In which case, we'll attempt to honor it as best we can. If there's nothing else left, then we need to leave Hestia behind and move forward.
Lead the way.
Then it's up the mountain pass. It's up the mountain pass from whence we came. Once we crest the hill, we should be able to see down toward the coast.
Let's pick up the supplies first.
Make sure you eat a hearty breakfast. It's quite the climb.
Let's pick up the supplies first. I want to go to the general store.
True. Just in case we need anything small.
Okay. I walk to the general store.
1,000 muffins.
Hesson?
Yes.
I walk into the general store.
You go into the general store, and a lot of the stuff is basically already off the shelves. Things have already been packed up to be delivered to help out.
Preparing for hard times already. Good.
Well, Cauldron's got to stick together when things like this happen. Not exactly going. Oh, sorry.
We need 2 or 3 days rations for 7 people.
For
we already
7?
have some of the mayor.
No, the mayor directed us here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I forgot.
For 7 people, best I can do is 2 days.
We'll take
2
it,
days.
and it's just we're doing good. Thank you. It was greatly appreciated, your efforts. Heading to Ionius to
Hosea, no. We only discuss those things with those that... Remember, part of our
I'm just
mission...
trying to give them hope.
I know, but part of our mission is confidential. We don't need to tell everyone everything. The closer this war gets, the more tight-lipped we need to become. Those who have Zenit spend only for the travel. The Shooting Star is well equipped, and its galley full, most likely with fresh fish by now. I honestly can't wait to get back to the ship and have a nice meal of salted salmon.
How much? Yeah, how much Senate would that be?
Lesha, have you had salmon?
Oh, I do love me some good fish.
Well, have you had Ionian salmon?
I can't say that I have.
Well, you will. Come on, let's pack up these supplies and let's get back out on the road.
Yeah. The cost for the supplies for 2 days for 7 people will come to 70 Zenit.
I'll pay it.
All right, I'll put in 20. I'll put in 20.
Okay. If you notice, I counted Bugabud as a person.
Bugabud could easily eat for 2 people, if not more.
Wow.
Now, just make sure you take it easy with some of these, Bugabud. We got to think about, we got to think about the others too. Don't worry, I still got a stash of snacks for you.
Alrighty. So, heading out from the town of Hysteria. Start making
Watch your footing on this path. It's a steep path up toward the peak, and it's a long switchback climb. Watch your footing. If you go over the edge, you can continue to fall for quite some time.
Well, as you're traveling up the road to approach the mountain pass, you do remember that you did go through a checkpoint at both ends of the pass, and as you start to approach that first checkpoint, you just see a bunch of rubble. Well, not rubble, more like just rocks dotting the landscape, and even a bit over the checkpoint as well.
What happened here?
You can see that there is a worker crew there working to clear the way through the gate. As you approach a guard, you start to approach. Oh, sorry, sirs. Pass currently closed.
Why is that?
What happened?
Well, the recent earthquakes, then the rumblings go through the mountains, caused quite a landslide. Made quite a kerfuffle.
Well, we'll take the risk.
Well, the thing is, the entire pass is blocked up.
We'll climb over it.
Well,
I don't like that option because that means that everything up on that pass has become unstable.
Oh yeah, you have no idea what footing will be stable and what footing will lead to a hollow. And if you fall in, who's to say that won't create more landslides to cover you right back up? So not in good conscience, I can't allow you to be traveling over a landslide.
Yes, that seems far too risky for our group.
Is there another
way to come out range?
Is there another way?
Well, yeah, there's an old pass through the Roval Mountains just easy here. If you get moving right about now, you could probably make it before evening tonight if you hurried. So if you do decide that you want to go through that pass, do be careful. It does go through a volcano, so it might be a little active after everything that's been going on these past few days.
A pass that goes through a volcano?
Right. Not exactly sure why myself. Some of the religious nutters that actually built that pass many years back.
I'm starting to see the pattern. We should go through this pass. I'll explain later. Let's go.
Okay.
all right then.
All right, y'all take care now.
It's more than care that we'll be taking. Are we making a roll on the overland between the pass and the volcano entrance?
No, I don't. I didn't. I probably should have, but I didn't put down for a roll for that travel.
Okay. So do I roll or not?
No, sure. Let's go for a roll.
What die am I rolling on? D8? D8 it is. Give me a 1 or a 2.
Oof.
No. Is that combat? Is that combat?
Yep. Combat
time.
Here we go. All right.
All right.
What's the
Give me 5, maybe 10 minutes to get to.
I'd like to spend a Fabula point.
For what?
The combat is a demon assassination attempt.
No.
Ooh, I like that.
Goodness.
I like it.
Jax likes it. Do it, DM.
I like it.
Nah.
They're on to us. It fits the plot.
Yeah.
They're on to it.
Yeah.
And it's
I won't make an assassination group, but I'll still keep it demon related though.
Let's go.
Sure.
So I will. Yep.
Intermission.
Intermission time.
Yay!
Let me deduct this Fabula point, and then I'll pause the recording. Deducted, and recording is